The purpose of creating Redefine was to achieve above average return for investors through the investment in physical property and listed securities. In the year 2000, we will all remember Y2K. It was the year when we thought that the world would end. That's when Redefine started its journey. Redefine Income Fund listed on the main board of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange on the 23rd of February 2000 as the first hybrid property loan stock company. The company had total assets of 1.2 billion rand, which comprised 50% direct property assets and 50% listed securities. At the time of listing, the listed property sector's market cap totaled 8 billion rand, representing 0.5% of the JSE's total market cap, too small a percentage for the sector to be attractive to large institutional investors. Redefine established itself as the largest unit holder in Hyprop Limited with a 35% holding in the 2000 year. In the year of 2001, iTunes and the iPod was launched, and Redefine's total asset base grew by 173 million rand to 1.4 billion rand. Listed securities increased to 73% of the total portfolio under Redefine's control. In the year 2002, Mark Shuttleworth was the first South African to go to space, and our asset base grew by 57%, and the directly held property portfolio grew by 80% to 808 million rand, whilst interest in listed securities decreased from 73% to 57% of the total asset portfolio. In 2003, South Africa hosted the Cricket World Cup, and the property portfolio grew by 41% to 1.1 billion rand. Redefine became the first South African property company to receive a rating from Fitch Ratings. The A- rating was awarded on Redefine's ability to both service and repay debt. Redefine acquired Standard Bank Centre on the Cape Town foreshore for 218 million rand, with almost 90% rented to blue chip tenants. Today, after a significant redevelopment, this property is worth 900 million rand, 4 times higher in value. Redefine moved in this year to a 50-50 split of directly held property and listed securities through the acquisition of the Standard Bank Centre. In 2004, South Africa won multiple gold medals at the Olympics for swimming, and Facebook was launched. Redefine in 2004 broke through the 1 billion rand market cap barrier to 1.3 billion rand, and Madison Property Fund Managers assumed the role of asset manager in this year. In 2005, YouTube was launched, and Redefine's market cap broke the 2 billion rand barrier. In its first major retail development project, Redefine, together with Hyprop, completed the development of the 192 million rand South Coast Mall at Shelley Beach in KwaZulu-Natal, a centre Redefine now owns 100%. In 2006, iTunes sold their 1 billionth song and Twitter was launched. Redefine in this year formed an enterprise development initiative, the Jalo Property Services, which has grown into the Pula Property Fund, a listed entity in its own right. Redefine was the first South African listed property fund to invest offshore through acquiring 18% of London Stock Exchange listed property fund CIRIF, now known as Redefine International. In 2007, South Africa won a Rugby World Cup, and in the same year, the global financial credit crisis took a grip on the international financial markets. Redefine in 2007 acquired and successfully integrated Spearhead Property Holdings. The directly held property portfolio increased to 5 billion rand and the listed securities portfolio to 4 billion rand. Redefine entered into a joint venture with Mergence Property Fund, which subsequently merged with the Jalo to form the Pula Property Fund we know today. Redefine entered into its first BBEE transaction involving 10% of Redefine linked units at the time. In 2008, Barack Obama was elected as USA's first black president, and Redefine was the 5th largest constituent of the South African listed property index, with a market cap exceeding 6 billion rand and assets in excess of 10 billion rand. Redefine was also the first property company to pay quarterly distributions. In 2009, the Gautrain was officially launched. Redefine acquired all the units of Apex High and Madison Property Fund Managers to effect a merger of the three companies in a record 12.7 billion rand transaction, which took the company market cap from 6 billion rand to 19 billion rand. This merger was the catalyst to what Redefine is today. Through the merger, Redefine's total assets more than doubled to 21 billion rand, and Mark Wayner, a director since debut on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, was appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Redefine. In 2010, South Africa hosted FIFA World Cup, as well as the first World Cup for Africa. Redefine Income Fund changed its name to Redefine Properties Limited, and Redefine Properties International, previously CIREF, was launched. Redefine announced its decision to internalize the property management function and established all service departments, including human resources, legal, marketing, and finance, to support the internalization of its property management. In 2011, we had a royal wedding, and Redefine's total property assets under management exceeded 37 billion rand. Redefine received an investment grade credit rating from Moody's, and Arrowhead Properties was unbundled, which was the start of Redefine restructuring its property asset portfolio to what it is today. Tupula Property Fund, a Redefine enterprise development initiative, also listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. In 2012, Facebook listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and Redefine acquired the Fountainhead Manco. Redefine also expanded its exposure through a direct investment in Promo Property Group, which is listed in Australia, and relaunched the brand with "We're not landlords, we're people" as a positioning strategy, a covenant of our commitment with our tenants through a jointly beneficial relationship. Your prosperity is ours. Internal values and behaviors assimilated into the corporate culture, and reliance on non-recurring fee income was reduced, greatly improving the quality and visibility of earnings. Redefine was also included in the JSE's SRI index for the very first time. In 2013, the United States announced the normalization of monetary policy, heralding the end of an era of cheap funding, and Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first president of the Democratic South Africa, tragically passed away. In this year, Redefine acquired a controlling interest in Fountainhead Property Trust, a holding of 66%, and also we took on the property management of the Fountainhead assets. Redefine reduced its stake in non-core listed securities, signaling the end of the hybrid structure that it was known for. Redefine obtained REIT status from the 1st of September 2013, and the property loan stock structure ended. Redefine also internalized its electricity recoveries, which proved fruitful, and Redefine was included for the second year in the JSE's SRI index. Redefine received the Investment Analyst Society Best Reporting and Communication Award in 2013 and was included in the CDP South African 100 Climate Change Report. Redefine also established a learnership program, which was successfully introduced into the business. In 2014, Facebook buys WhatsApp for 19 billion rand, and the Malaysian airline Flight 370 with the oil prices crash. Redefine completed its first 4-star green office development at 90 Grayston Drive, and our first retail development, Motlasana Mall, was completed. Redefine International PLC completed its inward listing, and Redefine completed its maiden direct offshore property acquisition obtaining a 50% share in the landmark North Point Tower located in northern Sydney, Australia. With that, the international investments significantly increased by 3.6 billion rand to 7.4 billion rand. Redefine attempted to acquire the assets of Fountainhead Property Trust, however fell somewhat short of the required 75% consent from the minority unit holders. We will, however, continue to pursue this transaction at the opportune time. Redefine is proud to be one of the leading SA REITs in several key corporate responsibility indices, including the JSE's SRI Index, the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, as well as the Green Building Council of South Africa. Redefine was also included in EY's Excellent category for integrated reporting and also received a Merit Award for the Most Improved Integrated Report for 2013. Redefine today is the second largest SA REIT on the JSE by market cap, and over the 15-year period of listing has generated a 15.7% compound annual return for its investors. Its share price grew from 2 Rand to the current 11 Rand 30. The number of shares in issue grew from debut at 220.5 million to just under 3.8 billion, which is a growth of 17 times. Our property assets grew from 1.1 billion rand to the current 55 billion rand, which is 50 times larger than debut. And if we look at our average value per property, it grew from a meager 10 million rand per property to 112 million rand, a growth of 11 times. Redefine's property versus listed security split has changed from a 50-50 split at debut to a 80-20 split today. Our international income at debut was non-existent. Today it represents 20% of our income. If we look at the JSE and the listed property sector, when we listed in 2000, the property sector totaled by market cap 8 billion rand, which represented 0.5% of the total JSE's market cap. Today it is 47 times larger at 5.6% of the overall market cap, which translates into 588.5 billion rand. When we look at Redefine, we've grown our market cap from 400 million at debut to 44 billion rand today, which is 111 times larger. So where to now? We remain true to our vision, and our vision is not to become the biggest, but the best, and this covers a spectrum of areas, and I'll just name a few. We want to be the preferred employer, the landlord of choice, the best brand, the best property portfolio, the best South African REIT, and the list is endless. We strongly believe that property is our commodity, but people are our business. Our unique and focused approach to relationships enables us to create and sustain meaningful value for our business partners. We believe that our values underpin our success. To achieve our vision to be the best in all aspects of what we do, every employee has aligned their activities and efforts with Redefine's strategic priorities. We are Redefine Properties. How are we going to achieve this? We have committed staff and who are all aligned with Redefine's values. Redefine has a hands-on management approach. We have a quality diversified portfolio, and we have a very strong development capability with a substantial development pipeline. Our balance sheet is robust, and our global diversification covers Europe and Australia. This all comes together as a very strong platform to execute large-scale transactions, which will continue to stand us in good stead to grow and diversify our business from a geographic as well as local point of view. We have agility in the conduct of our business, and our capital recycling strategy, which is part of our investment strategy, provides us with opportunities for future growth. 15 years has established a platform for Redefine to geographically diversify and grow its presence in the local and international property market in order to reduce risk and provide sustained capital and revenue growth in the long term. We look forward to continuing this journey with you.